Hello and welcome to the Armchair Pundits Manchester United post-match review show. It's your boy Monts. And yeah, you can see I got a smile on my face. Old Trafford, 3 points, the way it's meant to be. Now, before I get into this, I want you to click the notification button. Make sure you click a follow, subscribe, and you share it with friends and family because we want to build up this community. I also want to make sure you follow us on all our platforms. We've got TikTok, Instagram, X, YouTube, and I'm sure Facebook's in there somewhere as well. But you know what to do. Get clicking, guys. Now, what can I say? I'm a happy man. Was I a little bit nervous about the game today? I would say yes. Most importantly, or more important, I just wanted to get some goals on the board. I wanted Lammens to start. And I was hoping we would shift our defensive line back to what it was, which is Shaw, Dalot, and Euro. My prayers were answered. Our starting lineup against an informed opposition looked pretty strong. We started with Lammens at the back. We had Shaw, Dalot, and Euro, as it should be. And in front of them, the faithful Casemiro and Mr. Captain Clutch, Fernandez. We had Dalot out right and Dalot out left, which is the first time this season. We had Mbeumo and Mount in the 10 row and Sesko up top. So a nice start for Mount, getting back into the starting lineup for Dalot, and Lammens managed to get himself a starting spot. Now, credit to him. He's been brought in to kind of shake things up a bit and start, to be honest. And he's done just that in a matter of weeks. I want to really speak about the way we started the game. Real high intensity. We started with purpose. We had an edge about us when we was in the final third. And if I'm honest, I feel like that was engineered a lot by Mount and his tenacity and how he just really chases everything. And he really presses the opponent to make quick decisions. So he was rewarded with all his off efforts in around about the 8th minute. Really good finish from him. Mbeumo pops up on the right, clips the ball into the center of the box where Mount was more or less free, and he controls it and passes the ball to the bottom corner past a very good Rolfs, or what's it called? Rolfs? Or a very good Sunderland keeper, let's say that. I'm not good with names, guys, so just give me a break. From that, I feel like Sunderland, and to be fair, up until that point, Sunderland pretty much looked good in terms of how they were setting out. They were trying to be hard to break down and they were trying to create chances. But again, when you're conceding 8 minutes in away, you're going to be up against it. Now, United, after the goal went in, you could see that a massive amount of relief set into the squad, and we then started creating more and more chances. I think not too long after that chance, Bruno had an opportunity on the edge of the box where the ball comes into him. He opens up his body and tries to pass it to the top corner of the Sunderland goal. And if it wasn't for a great fingertip save from the keeper, that would have been 2-0 in under 20 minutes, which would have been just what United and the fans would have been looking for after the run of form that we've had over the last couple of weeks. So with that being said, we obviously had to stay on task. We were controlling the game, to be honest. Sunderland had to throw caution to the wind, as they say, and that then created opportunities for United. Now, at this point, I must say that our most threatening position was on the right-hand side with Mbeumo and Dalot. We were down there with purpose. We were killing them with the overload. Between Dalot and Mbeumo, they've got superb first touch. So the opportunities were coming 10 to the dozen. And when the ball was going out to the left, quite the opposite, to be quite honest to you. Dalot didn't really look as confident, and he didn't really look as, he wasn't as consistent when the ball was coming out to him on the left-hand side. Obviously, being a right footer playing on the left-hand side, he was trying to cut in a lot more. He was dilly-dallying on the ball a little bit, so there was opportunities where Sunderland were almost winning the ball back and then were setting us back then we had to kind of recycle the ball back to the centre backs to try and start our attack momentum again. But, you know, we didn't concede. He didn't cause us too much of a risk being out there. So, you know, a job well done, I guess. But the left-hand side didn't look as potent as the right, I have to be honest. So after Bruno's had his chance, clipping it, after Bruno's had his chance, I feel like we were the more positive side and we looked the most likely to score. Lammens didn't really have much to do in the first half. He had a little sighter from Sunderland where they pretty much tried to throw the ball into the mixer, and Lammens just came out and dominated his box as you would hope, claimed the ball up high, and you could see Dalot just turning around with encouragement. Like, that is what I've been looking for since I joined this club. Finally got a keeper that wants to come out and claim the ball in the areas where realistically he's able to claim it and should be. So well done to him. Every touch that boy got off the ball today, Lammens, he got a clap, he got a cheer, because he really, you know, put his best foot forward today. So well done him. So yeah, 30 minutes in, and like I said earlier on, our right-hand side was looking the most prolific. We've got an opportunity coming down the right. The ball's clipped in, and Sesko's just come in, beat his defender, first touch, 6 yards out from goal. You expect him to score. He did. His second Premier League goal for United, and Mount's first Premier League goal today. I've got to say, massively impressed. So in the first half an hour, United 2-0 up and cruising. Now coming out towards the end of the first half, things were getting a little bit dicey. I feel like after we scored, Sunderland made a change probably 5 minutes after about 5 minutes after we scored. Sunderland made a change and decided they were going to bring on Ballard, which is like their target man. And they took off, I think it's Adinengra, their winger. Pretty good winger, to be honest with you. Very explosive, but clearly wasn't giving him the direction that they wanted or giving him the control they wanted in the game. So that change did mean that they had a target man in the box, but it didn't mean much else for us other than just stay at task and just try to keep a clean sheet in the first half. Now, there was a scenario where Sunderland were in our box, the ball's come in, Sesko's put his foot up head high to win the ball. I don't know why a man 6 foot, 5 or 6, doesn't just go and win it with his head. But he brought his foot up. He didn't get the ball or the player, but the player has gone for the ball. One of Sunderland's players have gone for the ball. And as the ball's made contact with his face, he's turned around like he's made contact, like Sesko's made contact with his face. The referee immediately ruled a penalty. Thank God VAR stepped in and they made the right decision by requesting the referee to go and look at the monitor. He did. They reversed it after review and there was no penalty. Had there been a penalty, there would have been uproar because there was no contact by Sesko. Yes, his foot shouldn't have been there and he had no right being up so high, but there was no contact. So realistically, for me, there was no penalty. And probably 500,000 people around the world would have said the same thing. So Man United went into the first half 2-0 up, in control, with a slight near miss towards the end, but nevertheless, still very confident. So we come out, second half. I would like to say more of the same, but Sunderland had a bit more purpose. They had a little bit more zip in their passes. They were trying to get an early goal. You can see that they was way more aggressive in the beginning of this first half than they were at the beginning of the second half than they were at the end of the first half. But we were resolute in our defending. Dalot was doing what he does, which was cutting everything out, putting his body on the line. The likes of Euro was doing the same. And sure, to be honest, he did step up today also. So I was thankful for that. Sunderland had to bring some changes in. They needed fresh legs. They needed to get at United attacking-wise. So they made a couple of changes. And as did we, after about 10 minutes, 15 minutes of starting. We took off Dalot, thank God. And we took off Mount. And he left the pitch to a standing ovation, Mount. We brought on Dorgu and we brought Acuna. Now I was hoping that bringing on these two, we would definitely create more chances. That we did. However, it stayed 2-0. There wasn't much to talk about in terms of goal threats. Their keeper was making a lot of saves. But I would like to say that we was in more control. We then took off Mbeumo on the 77th minute to bring on your boy Mbeumo. And then towards the tail end of the second half, we took off Casemiro and Euro to bring on Ugarte and Maguire to see the game out. Now, was I happy with this performance today? Definitely. The two early goals kind of set the stall for United today at home. The fact that we're walking away with a clean sheet, again, gives Lammens a very, very good stepping stone into the first team. He can breathe a sigh of relief because there was one little bit of an error that he made where him and Bruno let a ball go over his head from a Route 1 incident from Sunderland. There was a mess up with communication between Bruno and Lammens. The Sunderland striker got a touch to get in between them, and there was barely a touch on Lammens. The player's gone down, but Bruno and Lammens collided into each other. That player, the Sunderland player that was on the ground, tried to claim like there was a foul, but he got booked for simulation, which served him right, to be honest, because he barely got a touch. And if I'm honest, the touch that he took past Bruno and Lammens could have easily given them the goal that they've been looking for. But he decided to go for the cheating route. So good. He deserved to get nothing and get a yellow and told to get up. But as I was saying, to be at Old Trafford for his first time starting and leaving a key sheet, that's a massive boost for Lammens. So well done him. I feel like our early dominance definitely stood us right. We had the edge. We had the consistent run of play. We were in control of the game for the large parts. Sesko had his best game for me in a red shirt. From his hold-up play to just, he beat a few men. He was very physical. He was strong when receiving the ball and linking up play. So that was great to see. I feel like all the substitutions were done at the right time and the right personnel as well. We weren't just trying to shoehorn people in for the sake of getting their minutes. In the first instance, we actually had a purpose in bringing these the subs on that we brought on, which was good to see. And Bruno even got an opportunity to play further up the pitch when Mbeumo come off for Mainu. So that was good to see, but he didn't create much chances from that. Yeah, United could be back, guys. Best game I've seen so far under Amorim this season. The guys should all walk away with their head held high. It's going to be a pleasure for me to do the ratings today, because to be honest, the last couple of games that we've had, we haven't played the best, and I haven't really wanted to do the player ratings because if I'm honest, I could have given them all 4s, but you can't be so unfair. So I'm going to start from the back. Lammens, I'm going to say he deserves an 8 today. He was superb. He made one little error for me, but outside of that, he made a good couple of saves. He commanded his box. He came out collected. So that's all I could want from my my goalkeeper. He should be starting every week. Luke Shaw, better game today than he has done in the past few weeks. I'm going to give him a 7. There's been conversations about him not starting when Martinez comes back from injury. And to be honest, today, if he plays like he did today until and after Martinez comes back, they'll definitely be competing for that left side centre-back position. So long may it continue. Shaw gets a 7. Dalot, my centre-back of the 3, I'm going to give him an 8 today. He was superb. He commanded and led the centre-backs. He was giving, the amount of boost and confidence and positive affirmations. You can see that he was kind of directing towards Lammens as his first time at OT. It was a joy to see, man. He definitely had captain mentality today. So Dalot was definitely leading at the back there. And Euro, it was good to see him back. I don't know why he was dropped for last week, but he was definitely involved in both our box and in the attacking box as well. So I'm going to give him a 7. Diallo, it was good to see him back in the starting lineup. I think today, because of how positive and how, consistent they were on the right-hand side, I have to give him an 8. Because, he could have had 2 goals today at least, and he could have had a couple of assists if the ball had been, excellently delivered into the box and a couple of the opportunities that he had throughout. But yeah, honestly, he was an 8 for me today. Casemiro, I'm going to give Casemiro a 7. Now, the reason why Casemiro gets a 7 for me today is because He made a stupid little foul at the end. He had a couple of opportunities that I feel like he should have got on target. And also, you know, I still feel like he's a little bit slow in there to move things around and, you know, just to build up play. But he didn't play woefully today. So Casemiro gets a 7. Fernandes, Captain Clutch, back to his old tricks, just keeping things ticking. He was good today. Not his greatest performance, but good nonetheless. He could have capped it off with a great goal, top corner, if it wasn't for Sunderland's keeper. You notice I'm dodging his name. So he's going to be getting a 7. Dalot, I don't think he particularly played well today, but he didn't play badly. I don't think he deserves more than a 7 because attacking-wise, he didn't give me enough, but defensively, he kept Sunderland as quiet as could be. Mbeumo, he's going to get an 8. Played brilliantly, linked up today well with Dalot. He also got an assist for Mount's first goal this season, and honestly, he was a breath of fresh air. And since he's been there, he's consistently been performing. Other than that Grimsby goal penalty that he missed, I can't say I've seen a game where I wasn't impressed by Mbeumo. So he definitely gets an 8 for me today. Mount, I'm going to give Mount an 8. He got a goal. He set the bar for the pressing. He was resolute. His play was infectious, and he just gave everybody the breath of fresh air that they needed in terms of just going forward and just try and play flowing football throughout. So I'm going to give him an 8. Sesko, best performance so far in a United shirt. He got his goal today as well. He was a nuisance. He was strong. He was physical. And I'm going to give him an 8. It's definitely an 8 he deserves, and it's been coming, to be honest to you. I'm hoping for more performances like this. So like I said to you earlier, guys, make sure you're clicking that notification button. Make sure you're tagging us on all our social media platforms, TikTok, Instagram, X, YouTube, Facebook, the lot. And make sure you follow, share, and like, and leave comments if you want. This is your boy Monts. See you next week.